So we're decluttering. And if you're like me, do you feel pangs of guilt or sadness when you're letting go of things that you've held on to for years? Now, people think that just decluttering is just getting rid of things. But actually, there's a lot of emotional attachment to these things. And it's harder than just saying, oh, get rid of this and organise or get rid of it. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, is some of the emotions that I have felt while I've been going through this process. My name is Zoe, and I'm nearly at the end of the process actually. I am selling my house and getting rid of all of my possessions to go full-time travelling in my retirement. And I'll put some pictures up here to remind you just how much of a maximalist and a hoarder I was. Oh, I did like my stuff. I had it everywhere. So why do we hold on to things? Well, there's many reasons, aren't there? One of them is memories, isn't it? Everything has a memory. You know, every photo I had around the house was a memory to me. If it's of my children, of my grandparents, my dad, my doggies, everything has a very good memory for me. And it was hard. You know, my photos were one of the hardest things that I found to let go. But, you know, nowadays they can all be put into digital form. You can scan them, put them on your phone, put them on your laptop. And that's what I've been trying to do, is like take pictures and put them, you know, in my phone or on my laptop, just so I have some to look at when I'm going around. But I did find that very hard. And then some of the things had been given to me as gifts, and, you know, you kind of feel this pang of, well, I can't give that away. It was given to me by my son. Like this snuggle he gave me. He gave it to me one winter. Oh, it was lovely. And I feel guilty giving it away because my son brought it for me. And this blanket that he brought for me again, which I use all the time on my sofa when it's chilly. And yeah, I feel guilty, but I don't think my son cares. He probably forgot that he gave them to me, if I'm being not honest. Then there was other things I'm sentimentally attached to. I had lots of things from my great aunt. She was a hoarder as well. I think that's where I got it from. She had stuff everywhere as well. I used to love her house. And I had lots of her things passed down to me. And I didn't want to give them up. And I certainly didn't want to give them away because they were family heirlooms. So I gave them to my aunt. And they would go to my cousins, and, you know, somebody else would find a use for them. I just couldn't give them away. I had my grandmother's fur coat. Now, it wasn't a real fur coat, but she wore it all the time. And, you know, there's no way I could get rid of it. So I begged and pleaded with my brother to take it and put it somewhere safe in his wardrobe, which he did. You know, so I'm sentimentally attached to things. And I think everybody is, but my memories from my dad and my grandparents are always going to be with me. I will always think about the good times we've had together, and I've got such wonderful memories with them all. I don't think my grandmother minds that I'm not taking her coat with me. I don't think Auntie Nell minds that I gave my ornaments back to someone else in the family. I still had a lot of my dad's things. When my dad died, it took me years to be able to come to terms with clearing his stuff. I had it in boxes for years. And a couple of years after he died, I had a couple of cases of his clothes, and I had to give them to my brother in the end because I said to him, I just can't do it. I said, I just need you to take them and give them to charity. I can't do it. But I had to clear his boxes as part of my decluttering, and and so I gave the important things to my aunt, and I'm like, you know what? It was a lovely experience to go through the box because I really enjoyed it actually. I was going through his photos, and And my dad always used to make notes in things and on the back of things, and they were all in there still. And it would be like notes like, "Oh, remind Zoe that I need to go to the doctor," or "Ask Zoe about how I get this done." And it made me laugh actually, and that's nice because all those years it had been too hard to do, but actually it gave me a lot of comfort. That's another good thing about decluttering. You'll find these things that actually give you comfort, things that you thought were sad. And then after I'd done that, I had his coat in my wardrobe, and I actually felt able to give it to a charity. Yeah, I wasn't going to throw it away. I gave it to charity. I thought I knew my dad would want it to go to, to good use. So yeah, but that was very hard. It was very emotional. But I did it. I mean, I embraced it, and I did it. Then there's the thing that you fear, oh, I might need it again. That's why you have 20 years worth of clothes in your wardrobe, because you think, oh, one day I'm going to fit in that, and I really like that dress, and you never fit in it. I have clothes in there that are over 20 years old. I mean, that's ridiculous. But yeah, once I'd started decluttering other things, the clothes became easier actually. And there are still some things in there that I wear. I go, oh, I wore this at this event, and I wore this, but I'm like, well, I'm never going to wear it again, and I can't take it with me. And so I sold most of my clothes on Vinted, and I didn't get a lot of money for them, compared to what I paid for these clothes over the years, but I got something back from them. And what I couldn't sell, I gave to charity. And, they will sell them on, or they'll use the materials and they'll be repurposed into something. So, yeah, you can watch my video on what Bernardo's do with our donations. It's really interesting, actually, because I didn't realise that you could actually give them everything, more or less. And it saves it going to landfill, but just watch it. It's really interesting what they do with our donations. And other expensive things like you have, like your kitchenware, like you buy a slow cooker, don't you, and you use it once because it's all the rage, and you use it and you think, oh God, I can't be bothered with this, so I'll put it in the garage. And then you think, oh, I should get rid of that. But you don't, because you think, well, what if I want to use it? You never know, do you? And I don't want to have to go and buy another one because it was so expensive. But then it just stays there for another year and never gets used. We've all done it. But there is that fear, isn't it? I paid all this money for it. I might use it again. I might wear it again. No, just get rid of it. Yeah, and for me, I know I'm living in this empty house now, nearly empty house. But I loved having all my things around me. I loved all this colour. I loved the cushions everywhere, the ornaments everywhere, the photos, the pictures, just the lamps. That is my vibe, and I do miss it. I really do miss it because it made me feel comfortable. It made me feel like I was in my home. This doesn't feel like my home anymore. And maybe that's good, because when I'm travelling, I'm never going to be in my home ever again, am I? So maybe it's a good thing because I'm kind of getting used to it. But if I had a home again, I'd probably put some of that stuff back in there. Although I'd be very conscious about spending the money nowadays. But yeah, I've managed to keep some of my things, but I had to be very ruthless. And I've got a few cases in my son's attic of my real prized possessions. But that's it. Everything else had to go. So here's some of my tips for managing the process. Whether you're getting rid of everything or you just need to clear some space, this is how I have dealt with it. With my photos, and I do miss my photos, but what I did was, like the ones I really wanted to keep, I just made a digital copy of them and put them on my phone or my laptop. Because I like them because they give me that memory, but they're still there, but I don't have the physical thing. If I had my own house again, I would have my photos up again. There's just no doubt about it. But it's just made it easier to do it. And the thing is, you know, obviously the photos are going to be quite old now, because nowadays we do have all these digital photos. So yeah, that's one way to deal with it. It's just make them digital, so you still got them if you want to look at them, but you don't have them cluttering the space. Things that have emotional memory for you, or you're sentimental about. I mean, this is perhaps why it took me so long to do it, is I'd spend a bit of time with the item and like think about the memory, think about what it meant to me, come to terms with it's going, and then say goodbye. Now, especially going through my dad's things. Now, my dad died nearly 10 years ago, and it took me that long to go through his stuff. Now, my dad was not the sort of person that would care about this stuff. He would just say it was rubbish, throw it away. But when I went through the box and I saw all these little notes he'd made and everything, and I spent the whole afternoon just going through all these little bits and bobs, it actually was very therapeutic, because it made me laugh. Some of these little notes and things like, oh, remind Zoe to do this. Remind Zoe I need this. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I was able then to part with it. And I gave then finally I did. I gave his coat to charity. But that's what you have to do. And you have to think about the long term. You're doing this for yourself, for a reason for yourself. And when you're being sentimental, you have to think the person that gave this to you would not want it to be a hindrance to you. They would want you to live your life. And if this object is not letting you do that, I think they'd be fine for you to let it go. And I gave a lot of the stuff back up to family. So there's going to be some things that you're not sure about, or you're not quite brave enough to make that decision. So put it in a box. That slow cooker that you brought and used once, and you think, I can't throw it away because I paid for it. Put it in a box. And then seal that box and put it in the garage, put it under your stairs, or put it in your attic. Just put it out of the way. If after a few months you still haven't wanted that slow cooker, get rid of it. Just get rid of it. You're not going to use it. You're holding on to it thinking, I might need to slow cook a chicken in three months. Just put the chicken in the oven. Be done with it. Just get rid of it. We're all guilty of it. We all do it. Just get rid of it. Oh gosh, the amount of stuff I had for that. Yeah. And like I said before, donate. You will feel better for getting rid of things if you donate it to a charity, because you're not throwing it into landfill. You're not just putting it out there you're not treating it as rubbish. You're giving it some value to somebody else, so you will feel better for it. I try and give as much as I can to charity because it makes me feel good about giving all my stuff away. If you can't sell it yourself, then it doesn't feel as bad, honestly. Don't go and buy something to replace it. Right? Don't get rid of something. Don't get rid of that slow cooker and then go and buy an air fryer that you know you're never going to use as well. Don't replace it for something else. What I learned since I started doing this process is, because I used to go into the shops and I see something I wanted and I'd go and buy it. Now I'm very strict. I don't do that. You see something you like, don't buy it. Go away, think about it for a week. If you still want it, go and have another look at it. 9 times out of 10, it does not look like it did when you first saw it. But if you still love it, then maybe you're going to wear it or use it, so then buy it. And the other thing is, don't buy from Amazon. Don't buy anything from Amazon anymore. It's too easy. You sit on the sofa, you flick through your phone, you press the button, it's here tomorrow. If you really want something, get off your sofa, get in the car or walk and go to the shop and actually buy it. If you can't get off your sofa and go to the shop and physically buy it yourself, did you really want it? Amazon is too easy. It really is. I've been guilty of that for years. And I've learned that as well. I don't buy anything off Amazon anymore. Honestly, if I need something, I go to the shop and find it. Because I just know that I won't go there if I don't really need it. So, and then lastly, look, just embrace it. Have a bit of fun with it. It's going to be emotional. It's going to hurt. It's going to bring all these feelings up. It's hard getting rid of things that have value to us, either financially or emotionally. They're sentimental. It's hard, and it is going to be emotional. So don't rush it. Embrace it. Have those feelings. It's fine to have those feelings over things. I get it. I'm like that. Some people aren't. We are. We have this attachment. We don't need to apologise for that. We just need to deal with it. And we can. And honestly, I've got through it and I feel so much better for it. I know that people are not going to be concerned that I didn't keep my gift. I'm sure my son doesn't care I didn't keep my snuggle thing. And I know my dad wouldn't care that I don't have his stuff here anymore. I can live without my ornaments and my memories being in a physical format, because my memories are in my mind. I have Facebook now where I'm always putting my stuff up. I have my YouTube now to remind me of my memories. So it makes life easier. Yeah. That's a good thing actually, is, make videos. It reminds you of a lot of things. Anyway, I hope some of that was helpful. You're not alone, It's okay to have attachment to things. But it's very freeing when you can get past it. It's been very good for me. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye.